You have to get in person. Stop being a hermit. I'm an introvert. Lori's an introvert. We do it anyways because it's the secret to our success, and it'll be the secret to yours.
Yep.
And we're back
with another episode of He Said, She Said.
So I was thinking about something really funny today.
What?
Do you remember when we were at a round table recently and we're at dinner? It's on the first night we go to dinner with everybody.
Right.
We're sitting across from somebody. I'm not gonna name her in case she doesn't want to be named, but we're sitting across from one of the round table members, and she goes, I just got to bring something up. I was so surprised that you guys recorded one of your He Said, She Saids after drinking.
Like really drunk.
Or
what seemed really drunk.
Yeah. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she goes, it was whatever title, I forgot which one it was. She goes, you guys were really, you came across really drunk on it. Like you were slurring your words and talking slowly.
Really slow.
And she goes, and then I realized I had accidentally hit the button where I'm listening at half speed.
She's listening at, what was it?
0.75. So it sounded like we're talking slow and slurring our words. And she's like, I was really upset with you guys.
0.5, it was half.
Yeah, that you guys recorded an episode like that. We got the biggest kick out of that ever. That was hilarious. I thought of it because, I listened to a podcast while I was working out today. And I listen on 1.5. Like I need things to go fast. But it just made me think when I hit 1.5, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she listened at 0.5 and thought we were drunk.
The only person I can listen to at 1.5, because I don't like listening.
Yeah, we're so different
I need to
go
slower to consume it. So when you're with me, I make you listen at normal speed. But the only person I can listen to that with is who does The Power of Now?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, he's amazing. He's a genius, but he is so slow. I'm going to find it while you're talking.
Oh my God, I love that. Anyhow, speaking of roundtables, speaking of your event, Girlfriends in Business that you just did, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you so much.
That was an awesome event. And speaking of all the traveling I've been doing, going out and seeing my team in Virginia, and if you guys aren't sure what I mean by that, I'm building this app, this peer-to-peer lending app called Frello, A Friendlier Loan. And my entire team, my business partner and my entire team, they're in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm out there every, 6 weeks or whatever it is, working with them in person. And I just got back last night from working with them in person. And we moved the needle so freaking much. Like had a massive breakthrough that would not have happened if we weren't all sitting around a table in the room. And it just made me realize, my God, the trip out there is long. The trip back is long. I lose a whole day traveling there and a whole day traveling back. But you know what? It's worth it because you just can't duplicate what happens when you're in the room.
Yeah, I have a team that I just signed on for this new company, which I'll release the name so soon. I literally can't wait. It's actually coming up in for real the next month, finally, that I can talk about it. And when we were talking about doing a strategy day, we were like, well, we can do it online because they don't live right by me. And I was like, all of us, pretty much at the same time, we're we got to be in the room. There's an energy that happens. There's an idea exchange that doesn't typically happen. I actually really believe in the idea, whether you believe in God or energy, whatever it is, that where there's 3 or more people, you get to tap into an energy and essentially, I picture it as the cloud, that you get to tap into this place where you wouldn't typically get the ideas if you were alone. And I'm not sure if that can happen on Zoom. I actually think it is a collective energy of when you're together.
It can't. You know why? People aren't as present on Zoom.
Yep.
They're just not. Even if you try to be, you're just not. And you're not in that collective energy moving at the speed of light where everyone's talking quickly and exchanging ideas. I'll give you an example. So we work with Authentic, which is one of the best tech firms in the whole wide world. They did Capital One, they did Starbucks, new app, all that stuff. And they're building our app. So we were at their headquarters. And we're all meeting around this table. There's something like 15 of us in the room. And the idea exchanges were going back and forth so quickly that had we all been on separate Zooms, they wouldn't have had that energy. And then what happened was Nick, my brother, said, wait a minute, guys, here's an idea. Mm-hmm. We could. And then he shared the idea. Now, here's when I realized how important it is to the power of being in person. Nick was thinking about not going on this particular trip. He was actually going to stay back because he had a lot of things going on. And I said, no, you know what, man, you got to come. Just trust me, it's different when you're there. This idea that is a game changer for the app, this idea that is a breakthrough, It wouldn't have happened if he wasn't there in person, and we would have missed out on taking this thing from already great to freaking extraordinary.
No, it's really crazy. There is something that goes on, and exactly like you said, that on Zoom, you kind of feel like you're cutting people off, or you don't say your ideas because there's a timing thing on Zoom, right? But when you're in person, I can't tell you how many times when you're working with a great team or when the energy's just great in the room that you're like, wait. Okay, I know that I didn't mean to cut you off, but here, like so much of that happens because there's something about, I feel like the hierarchy of ideas, you can feel them when you're in the room where you're like, I would never normally do this, like cut people off, but I know this is like hot. Like this idea is coming in hot. It doesn't even feel like it's mine. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
I totally do.
Where I can like sit back and be quiet. But then if I have this like idea where I'm like, no, this idea is winning right now, and I need to share it literally right now. That actually just happened. We were with the Hufflemans and they were talking and we were in person and we were talking about business, and I had an idea come through so hot and heavy. I was like, you guys, I don't even know if this is going to make sense, but I just have to share it. Something is coming through right now. And I shared it. And it just so happens to now be something that is
their best-selling product.
Yep. And I just knew it because you feel it, and you don't feel that as much when you're not in person.
You know, maybe we could explain it like we are, why you have to be in person, at least as much as you can be. Maybe we can't explain it, and you just have to trust that there's a different energy that happens. But regardless, I have evidence after evidence that getting in person, getting in the room, is what will change your life bigger, faster, quicker, stronger than when you're not.
Hey y'all, if you didn't know, Earn Your Happy is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. This is so exciting to me because I have been looking for a really good home for the show for, I can't even tell you, years, literally. And now I've finally been able to come together and collaborate with other people who have incredible shows, and I want to share them with you. One of the shows is Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. And you guys, if you don't know about the beginning of my career, I literally started with Brendon Bouchard's work. It's how I launched one of my very first online courses and membership sites, was because he gives so much advice that you can integrate and implement immediately. And that's what you're going to get on the show. Not just motivation, but you're going to learn exactly how to get your stuff out in the world. And not just that, but Brendon runs in the most incredible group of humans who are really doing the thing out in the world that you want to be doing. So go check it out. Go subscribe to Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. I promise you, this is going to be one of those shows that no matter when you tune in, you're going to get value. Like, it's not one of those that you're like, God, I listened for 30 minutes and I didn't get what I wanted. Like, from the beginning, you're going to get something that changes your life or changes your business. So go check it out. Motivation with Brendon Bouchard. I know you're going to love it. I'm obsessed.
Here's another example. When you're not in the room together, then you can't have these chance side conversations. And when I ran my roundtable recently, there was a couple that, extraordinary couple. They're there for the second time. I don't want to say who they are because I'm going to talk about their business here for a moment. But they've got an incredible business, and he is still working his full-time job while they run this other business. And we got into a conversation at lunch. I sat next to him at lunch, and he was saying, how do I know when it's time for me to leave my job? When is it safe to, all that stuff. We sat there at lunch, and I quickly went into this big, okay, how much are we talking about replacing? Okay, here's where that could come from. Here's the two moves I would make. And before we knew it, by the end of lunch, they had a plan for him to be out of his job in 90 days. Mm-hmm. 90 days. And that wasn't even on the radar before, to replace his entire income. A really easy plan. But it wouldn't happen if we weren't sitting there having lunch together.
A lot of times it's the answer. In fact, I think majority of times it is the answer. If it's not the answer now, it's the answer very soon. Mm-hmm. And so you and I just went and got Botox.
Yep.
And we were in the room and we were talking to one of the nurses who was in there.
Yep.
And she was talking about that she was nervous to start her business because she didn't have the network or the clientele in this area.
Yep.
And I was like, well, why don't you go to some of these networking events or one of my networking events that I have? Because it's all of these women who are looking for
the same support
and also what you do. So not only could you get the same support, or you could get support that you want, but you'll probably also get clients there because that's what this thing's about. And I think we showed her that this is definitely something that you need to do, but that is not unique to her.
Nope.
That is so many people who are like, okay, I just moved and I'm trying to get my clientele up, or I'm not out on social. I just started X, Y, and Z, or I have a beauty business or whatever that looks like, and I need clientele. Okay, well, you have to get in the rooms with your ideal client. And you have to get in the rooms with your ideal support system.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. It doesn't take 10 of these. It takes one to start the ball rolling. And not just that, you can start your business and think you're going in the right direction, or think you have your next ideas for how you're going to market and do all the things. Then you get in the room and you start talking to people who are doing the same thing. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't launch with the idea I thought, because you just told me that didn't work for you and you just did it. And that this other thing works for you. So I would have just wasted $5,000 or $10,000 or maybe worse, because a lot of people, wherever you're at. And the rooms, just, it makes it so much faster. And you guys, this is not just because we do masterminds. This is because we are the product of doing this. This is all that I do is network. And I have never not gotten an answer because of my network. It's always within my network, and it's only in my network because I network.
I got one more example of like the power of being in person.
Yeah.
This person, I can mention their name because I know they're proud of this. Christina Bartold, who owns the Social Snippet, this awesome,
she's amazing,
social media agency out of Canada. She has gotten more of their clients by going to events and networking in person, going to masterminds and networking in person. Like, she is proud of the fact that she walks into an event, dazzles everybody with her wonderful personality and her expertise, and leaves with a handful of clients. And this has become her secret to getting clients, to the fact where she's having her first $1 million year coming up, it looks like.
Well, how that happens, you guys, if you're wondering how in the heck that happens in an event, it's because when everyone's going around the room and introducing themselves and saying what they do, obviously she's got it dialed in on exactly what she does because she knows who her ideal client is. And it is no problem saying, I'm looking for people just like you. So if you need help with this, this is what we're doing. And then also, as the day goes on and people are asking questions or offering feedback, she's got really incredible answers and feedback. So she walks in the room and adds so much value in the room that this is what you do. And if you're like, oh my God, I want to go to the event, but I don't feel like I'm going to be adding value. Yeah, she's been to multiple of them now. She's getting clearer and clearer on who she is. She's learning at the events. She's growing her company. So you eventually will get there as well, where you'll be able to do that. So not only will you be going into these events networking and growing your network, but you'll also be able to sell what you're doing.
Yeah. So at this point, I mean, if you are stalled, or if you feel like you don't have the right support system, or if you feel like you can't find like-minded people, it's probably because you're not getting together in person enough. Now, you can do this locally. Form your own group. Yep. Literally start your own dinners.
Absolutely.
And invite people to them. Or you can pay to go to events. Like, you just had your, what do you call it, Girlfriends of Business, 60 women that were there for high-level networking. By the way, you're going to do another one, aren't you?
We're doing another one, you guys.
Give it a shout
September,
out. Give it a shout out.
In Scottsdale, same place. And all you have to do is text the word workshop to 310-496-8363. So that's workshop to 310-496-8363 to get on the VIP list, because we are doing that on September 17th.
And what's wild is it's already half sold out because so many people are returning from the first one.
Yes. So I think that speaks volumes that we have a lot of repeat customers, because it is high level networking and it is all about going and getting your network and getting the answers and meeting women. So we do a lot of breakouts in that group. So, one of the questions that you will be answering is, or essentially in the beginning, we have you go around, say your name, what your business is, and then we say what you need. So you tell the entire room of 70 people what it is that you need, and everybody writes it down if they have your answer, and they go up to you afterward.
That's incredible. It's awesome what I saw happen there. And by the way, I don't want to put pressure on you, but is there a chance that your new product's going to be there in person in the September one?
We'll see. Hopefully.
All right. Love it. Anyhow, guys,
so.
What do they text and where?
They text the word workshop to 310-496-8363.
All right. Well, listen, whether you make your own room or whether you buy your way into one or anything in between, get your tails in the room. You just can't miss out on the magic that happened in my meeting in Virginia this week. You can't miss out on the magic that happens when Christina Bartold, gets into each room. You have to get in person. Stop being a hermit. I'm an introvert. Lori's an introvert. We do it anyways because it's the secret to our success, and it'll be the secret to yours.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. We always love and appreciate you.
See you next time.
Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar, and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to Kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also, as influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at Kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. Hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. And I want to make sure that you have my phone number, and I'm not kidding. Did you know that I have a community text number? For real. My phone number is 310-496-8363. This goes directly to my phone. All you have to do is text the word daily to 310-496-8363. And I literally text you every single day, Monday through Friday. I actually just got done 30 seconds ago texting a bunch of people back, and I talk to you all of the time. You guys, people always ask me how I got my community text number and how it works. Well, all you have to do is you can just go to community.com and get your own. Community makes it easy to get a phone number that you can use to build your audience using text. People just text you at your number and they're added to your group. Then you can text them out audios, video links, anything you want. You guys, I text out happy birthday videos. I love to send podcast links, thoughts about life, book recommendations, different events that I'm doing in the local area. Texting gets me out of the noise of social media and directly into your hand. And now you can start texting your people too. Just go to community.com to get your phone number. They give you a 10-digit real phone number, not those weird short codes that look like spam, but it's more than a phone number. Your new number comes with an inbox for SMS and texting. This means you can actually manage your text list from your computer and an app on your phone. You can schedule text to send at certain times and to certain groups. You can even set up auto replies or let your assistant or customer service team answer your text messages via Community's awesome dashboard. Just go to community.com and ask for a free demo. They'll show you how it works and get you your number. It's time to start texting your audience versus just posting on social media. Everyone uses Community for that. So go check them out at community.com. I can tell you it's not just great for communicating with my audience, but Chris and I use Community and our texts to also sell out our launches. I'm telling you, you get such an incredible response because you really are creating a true, deep sense of community, and it's so intimate. It's freaking amazing. Go check it out at community.com.